Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Nasty3890 here. We are back with another MLB 17 The Show Diamond Dynasty video, and today is roster predictions for this upcoming Friday, July 21st. Now, what I've done again this week is I've included you guys in it. What I mean by that is I asked you guys on Twitter, so make sure you give me a follow there. There will be a link to it down below in the description of who do you guys think should get an upgrade and why, and I included about 4 of you guys who I thought made really good points in regards to either upgrades or downgrades. Now, there will be names that you guys will be like asking me, should this guy get an upgrade or downgrade? He's been playing really well or he's been struggling. I probably mentioned him in last week's video or the week before, so I will put a link to last week's video in the description below because I know people ask me, what about Judge? What about Bellinger? What about Blackman? Maybe even Votto, because I mentioned all those guys last week. I know that there'll be you guys in the comments asking about them, which I still think they should get those upgrades that I mentioned last week. I'm just not going to be redundant and include them again this week. These are 10 new players. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's go to the first guy I think should get an upgrade. First up here, we have Brach. And before we get any further on this, I want you guys to do me a huge favor. Let's see if we can get 1,000 likes on this video, guys. To know that you guys want me to continue doing these roster predictions throughout the rest of the year. Can we hit 1,000 likes? I think we can. I know you guys can do it. But here we go. Brach first up. And we got at MLB The Show Q, or Your Games Go To Me, tweeted at me, said, Brach should go gold. A 2.68 ERA with a whip of .89. And I think I agree with that. He's basically been their closer this year. They still haven't changed his position to closer from reliever, which that could change his overall. But he's been pitching really good this year. He's also been striking guys out. He does have a good K per nine already, but his whip's so low. I say increase walks per nine a little bit or hits per nine a little bit, enough to make him gold. And also with Zach Britton rumored to be moved, there's rumors of him going to the Cubs or to another team. That will give Brach more save situations, and that will definitely make him the closer, and that should change his overall for the better. But yeah, I think he should at least get a +1 Brach from your Baltimore Orioles. Next up here, we have Josh Donaldson, and Jake Sevbar said Josh Donaldson needs to get a downgrade of at least -1. He only has 9 home runs. He's only batting .254. Now, he has been injured this year, so he hasn't played a full season compared to other people. He's only played 51 games. And he does have the 9 home runs. He is only hitting actually .246 after last night's marathon game. For the year, he's hitting .246 with a .367 slugging, a .367 on base, a .443 slugging. Versus left-handed pitching, which you can see his power versus left is a lot higher than power versus right, he's only slugging .405. So he's actually slugging worse versus left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching. Now, because of all that, I'm saying a -2. I know Jake mentioned a -1. I'm saying a -2 to a 92. Still a diamond. Now, with him being a former cover athlete, I feel like they don't get, they're really nice to the former cover athletes. Either it's Rizzo, well, I'm not sure if Rizzo going to cover, but he's been in part of the game, or Pedroia, or Donaldson. I don't know. He's deserving of at least a -1. I'd say a -2, but we'll see. Maybe they won't do it because he was on the cover of last year's game. But I still think he deserves a downgrade just based off his performance alone. It's not all bad for the Toronto Blue Jays, though. We got Roberto Osuna. Now, a lot of people mentioned him, including Banana Bread HQ, said Osuna a +1 over the last 10 games. He's allowed 4 hits, 2 walks, 14 Ks, and 0 runs. Now, that was before Tuesday night's game. He did give up a run in that game, but it is what it is. I still think he deserves an upgrade. Some people mentioned Diamond. I don't think he'll get a +2. I think Banana got it right on the nail, a +1. For the year, a 2.11 ERA, a whip of .76, striking out basically 12 an inning. Maybe increase Ks per nine a little bit. If you increase K per nine by about 5 or 6, that makes him an 89. That's all you really need to do, and I wouldn't be shocked to increase hits per nine a little bit. Do I think he'll go Diamond? Probably not, but I think he should at least get a +1 Roberto Osuna for the Toronto Blue Jays. Here we have Justin Wilson, and Mike Husson said Justin Wilson to gold, upgrade hits per nine and Ks per nine, 2.29 ERA for the year in 37 games, a 12.9 K per nine, 4.8 hits per nine. His K per nine is incredibly good. Like he said, 12.9. That should definitely be upgraded. I'd say by at least 5. Put that at least at 90. And I think a +2 to a gold is very fair. If you do that, you don't even touch hits per nine. He is the gold. He could even get a bigger upgrade if you increase hits per nine, like Mike mentioned. I don't know if they'll do that, but I think Justin Wilson should at least be a gold card. So I'm saying an 85 overall +2, increase that Ks per nine. He's basically striking out 12 an inning, which is incredible. Well over 12 an inning, which is incredible. Just kind of like that Osuna. So there we go. +2. Justin Wilson's a new gold card. Next up here, we have the Moose, Mike Moustakas. Now, for the year, he has 25 home runs. He's in 270. And because of that, I think he should get a +1. But if you notice, he's a guy who has big splits. Like, he hits righties well, but struggles versus lefties. So I checked to see how he's hitting against lefties. Well, he's slugging 500 versus lefties. He's not hitting for the greatest average versus lefty, but he is slugging 500, which is better than what he's slugging versus right-handed pitching. And only 92 at-bats versus left-handed pitching, he has 7 home runs. So increase power versus left. Give that like a plus 10 or something like that. Maybe a plus 5 or 6. But I think if you just increase power versus left, don't touch anything else, he'll go gold. He'll be an 85, and I think that's fair. Mike Moustakas, a new gold card. Here we have Gio Gonzalez, who's just always been a really solid, underrated pitcher for the longest time. This year, he has a 2.66 ERA, a 1.19 whip, which the ERA is really good. The whip isn't outstanding for a start, but it's still very, very good. In the month of July, though, he's just been dealing. He has a 1.69. That's a nice ERA. Also, a whip of under 1 of 0.89. I'm saying +2 to an 83. I don't know if they'll do it because they just don't seem to care about Gio Gonzalez, but he's been outstanding for that. I mean, as a number 3 in that Nationals rotation, that's just incredible when a guy's pitching that well. But yeah, +3 overall +2, Gio Gonzalez. He'll be an 83. Here we have Aaron Nolan next, and I think Aaron Nolan should get at least a +1, maybe a +2, but I don't think he'll go gold, but I think he should get an upgrade of at least a 1. For the year, he has a 3.54 ERA, a whip of 1.2. So basically the same whip as that Gio Gonzalez, but his per 9 are so low. His walks per 9 are pretty good, but his per 9s are very low. Now, in the month of July, just like Gio, he's also been dealing. He has an ERA of 1.71, a whip of 0.95. If your whip's that low, increase hits per 9. Like a 60 hits per 9, when I saw that, I was like, that needs to be upgraded. If they just touch that, give it like a +5 or 6, he's an 84. I think they'll do that, won't do anything else. There you go, Aaron Nolan's an 84. Not quite a gold, but very close. Next up, we have Ian Happ from the defending champ Chicago Cubs. I'm saying a +2 for Ian Happ. Now, he's only played 57 games in the bigs. They still haven't got him a pitcher yet, but they've changed Cano and Judge's pitchers, so whatever. Anywho, he's hitting 260 for the year. Nothing crazy. I think his contact's relatively fair, but he has a .535 slugging percentage on the year. In the 57 games he's played, he's hit 13 home runs. Increase power, please, on this Ian Happ. Even if they're just kind of conservative with the increase in power, he's at least a +2 to an 80. Like, give his power maybe like mid-60s for each. There you go, he's an 80 overall. I could even see be higher, but I'm being conservative on it. Ian Happ, a new member of the Silver Club. Here we have Alex Wood from maybe the best team in baseball right now. The Dodgers are playing the best right now. We'll see in October, but they've been outstanding recently. This guy is part of the reason for it. His ERA for the year is a 1.56, a whip of 0.88. He's striking out 10.49 innings, strikeout 10.49 per 9 innings, excuse me. He's actually starting to pitch deeper in the ball games now. He pitched like 8 innings, 7 innings, a few starts in the last couple, so he's actually going deeper into games, which is good. Because I know for the longest time he didn't even qualify for the ERA title because he didn't pitch enough innings. But I'm saying a +2. People mentioned on Twitter that he could go diamond. I don't see that big of an upgrade. He has been pitching really well. I'm saying a +2 to an 88, though. Increase the case per 9, increase hits per 9 or walks per 9, either of the two to help with the whip and the case per 9. But yeah, there we go, guys. Alex Wood, 88. And lastly on this list, we have Brandon Crawford from the Giants. I'm saying a -3 on the year. He is an elite defensive shortstop, and that hasn't changed. But he is just not hitting. I mean, what made him a very great player the last few years is he was actually starting to hit. He was always a light hitter in the last few years. He really found his bat. Well, he lost his bat again this year. I mean, like the Giants, most players except for Posey on that team has been struggling this year. Crawford is hitting 226, a 269 on base percentage. The dude's not walking at all. Pitchers are going right after him because he's not hitting, and he's also not hitting for power. 375 slugging percentage. So I mean, you can bring down discipline, you can bring down contact, you can bring down power. I think if you bring all those three, and you are still relatively conservative, that's only like a -3 to an 85. Like you can see his inside edge today. That's a -3 to an 85. I think that's what he should be. If he went silver, I wouldn't even be shocked by that. The guy's just been garbage at the plate. I still say an elite defender, so that may save his overall. You see a 95 fielding. I mean, I think that's only second to Andrelton Simmons, but Simmons is actually hitting this year. Crawford's not, so I'm saying a -3 for Brandon Crawford. So those are the 10 guys I mentioned who should get an upgrade or a downgrade. If you think I missed anyone that I didn't mention last week or the week before, put it in the comments down below. If you haven't already followed me on Twitter, hit that follow button. Let's see if we can get that 1,000 likes for the video, guys. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. Take it easy. Peace.